Good morning again, everyone. Welcome to the 2015 Affordable Housing Conference. I know we have had several folks who have arrived that weren't here yesterday, so we thank you that you are here with us today. We're going to begin this morning by announcing the winner of a special KAHC award. The Mae Street Kidd Award goes to an individual who has demonstrated outstanding public service and who has promoted the importance of affordable housing. The award is named after the Louisville State Representative who sponsored the legislation creating Kentucky Housing Corporation in 1972. Former Governor Ford, who signed the 1972 legislation, called Mae a worker for the people. And like her, today's Mae Street Kidd Award winner is a worker for the people. In 2009, Kentucky's First Lady launched the Governor's Garden effort to increase awareness about the benefits of locally grown produce and the importance of reducing our carbon footprint. She has also succeeded at reducing energy consumption at the Governor's Mansion by 15%. The winner of this award, as is obvious today, is First Lady Jane Beshear. She has worked tirelessly on behalf of domestic violence shelters and for improved health care opportunities for underinsured and uninsured Kentuckians. Mrs. Beshear serves on the Recovery Kentucky Task Force, which provides housing and treatment assistance to men and women who suffer from alcohol and drug addiction. She has been a tireless supporter of the Scholar House program, which offers affordable housing, education, and child care to single parents trying to improve their economic future. Jane Beshear has received numerous awards reflecting her active pursuit of leading by example and her commitment to helping Kentucky families. Please join me in congratulating this year's recipient of the Mae Street Kidd Award for Public Service, our First Lady, Jane Beshear.
Thank you all. Thank you very much. And you must excuse the sniffles and the voice. You know, true to Kentucky in springtime, we're all delighted to see the spring arrive, but along with it comes allergies and colds and everything else, and I seem to be standing at the front of the line when that took place. But anyway, I'm delighted to be here with you all today, and how exciting that there's so many of you here. I think Kathy Peters said that there were better than 600 that had enrolled, and that's just absolutely fantastic, because what it says to me is you all are all in the business of taking care of others, making sure that all of our Kentuckians have a safe and affordable place to be able to live. You know, I'm very honored by this award because I knew Mae Street Kidd when my husband first came into the legislature in 1973. She was a state representative, as was he. And I remember her very well. She was quite a character, to say the least. But she really cared about people. And the fact that she was the sponsor of this legislation that developed the Kentucky Housing Corporation showed not only her personal feelings and that she would act on her feelings, but her ability to get things done. And it was a little harder, ladies, at that point in time for the women to be that effective in the legislature. But she certainly held her own and did great things for all the people that have been able to take advantage of this affordable housing, this whole idea of what we can do for others, what we must do for others. You know, during this last 7.5 years, it's just been an incredible journey for me. Excuse me for calling her Kathy Peters, but I have known her. She was in the Beshear administration when Steve was lieutenant governor, so we're just delighted that she is back with us, and a very special person to Steve and myself. But, you know, this last 7.5 years has afforded me the ability to travel the state and to meet so many people. And, you know, when you're in a position that is not in government and doing the kinds of things that you do, when you're in the private sector, many times you get kind of insulated in your world, and you just don't necessarily step outside or look outside. This 7.5 years has given me the opportunity to be in a position to step outside and to look outside and to see some incredible programs that we have in this state and amazing people that are doing things that they don't ever get an award for, that they don't get the credit for. But they're the people that we ought to be thanking. It's what I like to call those boots on the ground. And I think if there's anything that I've learned out of this 7.5 years is that everybody can make a difference. And quite frankly, I think it's a personal responsibility. That's kind of my motto, that everyone has a personal responsibility to do something, anything, no matter how small. But if you take 600 people and everybody does just a small little thing, think what a difference that can make. So to be able to be honored by an award like this that's named for a person that made so much difference, it's just incredible. You know, it was said some of the things that I've worked on have been domestic violence. Once again, that is something that is just in our state is rampant. I'm so excited that this afternoon we're going to officially, formally sign the dating violence bill after so many years. I think some of the legislators are going to be really happy when December arrives, and I'm no longer in Frankfurt. There are a few of these things these bills that I have just, they say pounded, I say lobbied for, but this was one that I just felt like was so important that every person, no matter what their age or what their preference, deserves protection in the Commonwealth of Kentucky and in this nation. The others, you know, health is an issue that affects all of us. And I'm really excited about a venture that we're on right now. We're striving to raise money for a van, a mobile unit that will cover the state, and it will be doing preventive work. It'll do screenings for 7 different kinds of cancer. You know, I've been involved in the breast cancer initiative, and we provided free mammograms for underinsured or uninsured women, particularly in the equine industry. This van's going to serve men and women. It's going to screen for breast cancer. It's going to screen for cervical cancer. It's going to screen for prostate cancer. Guys, we're not going to leave you out of this. We're going to make sure you get screened too. For lung cancer, for head and neck cancer, for skin cancer, and for colon cancer. Can you imagine a van that will be able to go different places in this state and that you can just walk in, particularly if you're underinsured, and be able to be screened, get early diagnosis, or be declared clean and not have to worry about it? What a difference we'll be able to make in the health for the future of the Commonwealth. So we're really excited about that. You know, that'll go on long after we're gone, but I look forward to seeing it rolling down the highway, knowing that it's going to be making a difference for so many people. And the other effort that has been really near and dear to my heart, well, there's 2. One is the energy efficiency. You know, my husband has had kind of a hard time with this because I go behind him, turn all the lights off, change all the thermostats. He's learned to live with it after this many years. But we've made a difference. You know, we've reduced the use of energy in the governor's mansion by 15% or more. You know, once again, it's very easy to do. You just have to take your responsibility and do something in your home, in your office, or whatever. Don't worry, when I travel around for the state buildings, I check to see whose lights are on and whose lights are off. Because, you know, just that small gesture makes a huge difference. You know, the energy in this state is finite. You know, we won't always have the amount of coal that we have. Who knows what happens with the gas as we move along. So I'm worried about my grandchildren and their children and grandchildren, and I want to make sure that I don't do things, that we don't do things that destroy this earth for the future. All you have to do is look around at Kentucky right now and see how beautiful we are with the budding of spring. Don't we want others to see the same thing? So again, that personal responsibility. The other area has been the Recovery Kentucky. And thank you to the Kentucky Housing Corporation for taking that program that was started by Governor Ernie Fletcher and was enhanced, Ernie Fletcher being the Republican, not that I need to tell you all that since you're all in the state, but then was enhanced by Governor Beshear, a Democrat, a bipartisan effort to try to make the difference in the lives of people who are addicted to alcohol or drug. These recovery centers are phenomenal. If you've never visited one of them, please take that opportunity to go. The first one that I visited was the Healing Place in Louisville, and that was because they knocked on my door from the moment Steve was elected till I finally said, I give, okay, I'll go visit. And I was taken around that facility by an incredibly beautiful woman, young woman. I had my daughter-in-law with me at the time, and they were about the same age. And, of course, I think my daughter-in-law was more beautiful, but they were pretty much equally beautiful. And she showed me the whole program. It's a peer mentor-based program. And at the end, I said to her, well, how long have you been working here? And she said, oh, I came through this facility. I was an addict. And it just kind of blew me away. I thought, oh my gosh, she looks enough like my daughter-in-law to be her sister. It affects, and I would venture to say, if I ask everybody in this room, if you know someone who's been addicted to drugs or alcohol, the majority of you would raise your hand that you know someone that it's affected you or your family or your friends. So these programs have been phenomenal, and if it were not for the Kentucky Housing Corporation, we wouldn't have them. And the need, unfortunately, is growing. But the fact that we're making the difference in these people's lives and they are successful, we have the statistics to prove that they're successful. And now we're moving our energies, not from them, but alongside of them, to our adolescents. Some of the money that was recovered by the Attorney General's office in a settlement with some pharmaceutical companies. I know many of you heard about that. We received about $32 million, and the judge, bless his heart, directed that those funds be directed toward treatment for drug and for addiction in general, substance abuse. And from that, we took $19 million, and we've put it in programs for adolescents. Now, it's kind of the same thing I feel about education. If you get it young, you have a chance to make it. If we educate our kids, if we make sure that they're ready to start school in kindergarten, the first grade, they have a chance to be successful. If we can capture these adolescents, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, and make a difference for them, then they just might not need to be in our recovery centers, and they might just be able to be productive citizens. So, again, that's a long story to say thank you, but I cannot tell you how much this means. But it doesn't, I always feel humbled because it's not me that's making that difference. It's all of you. It's all of our people that are working in the centers or working in our domestic shelters or making sure that in the scholars program that these young women and their families have a chance to move forward. It's all of you that make that difference. And I guess that's the thing I've learned about Kentucky in this position. We are a mighty people. We are a caring people. And I guess that's why I love Kentucky so much. So thank you all very much. You all enjoy the rest of the day. I know you're going to learn great things. I'm going on to energy efficiency now, so I'm going to preach again.